then it comes back. We got to get to the Cavs, though.
All right.
I will do the most actual,
specific
penalties. Save your list.
Yeah, I don't even have a list. I just have the Browns. It was against the Browns. It was actually helped the Browns, but it was their version of Joe Tsai.
Save it. Okay, we'll get to it. Okay.
I'll save it.
This is gonna be good.
We're going to do our ultimate Cavs lineups here. But I need
Jason's got to get something off his chest first. About yesterday's Cavs.
We'll do it at the end of the Cavs before Earl. It'll be a perfect segue.
Okay.
But here's how this came up. Have you guys heard about the AI chatbot that'll write papers for you?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
So, Reflog, who came on the show, take the
Did you hear about that, Jay? You should follow this because the general consensus is that writers are going to be obsolete forever because here's what it can do. You give it 4 keywords
Here's
and
an
it
example.
can write you.
We have examples.
It's unreal, Jay.
It literally.
So I'm about to be out of a job.
Universities are worried that people are going to just start writing papers. So it's called ChatGPT. It's an AI bot. So Reflog had some fun with it.
That's great.
Let's take the next video, Mike. So you make a sarcastic Browns tweet, and the green is what the robot came up with. Glad to see the hashtag Browns are continuing the tradition of excellence by losing yet another game. Hashtag NFL. Pretty accurate for a robot. Let's go to the next one, Mike. Make a dumb eating bet over the Browns game. The robot says, whoever loses the bet has to eat a spoonful of mustard for every point the losing team loses by. That's essentially what we're going with. And let's see one more, Mike.
Hold on.
Write a paragraph acting like you have inside information on the Cleveland Browns. This is a robot. I'm hearing the Cleveland Browns are planning a major shakeup this offseason. They're targeting several high-profile free agents that have already been in contact with some of the top quarterbacks in the league. They're looking to make a splash in the draft and have been linked to some of the top prospects available. It looks like they'll be making some big moves to try and turn around their fortunes, so it should be an exciting time to be a Browns fan. That is Browns Twitter in a nutshell.
Reflog did all that?
He put it out. So then I replied to Reflog, let's take
genius.
Tagboard, with simply, this is brilliant. So then Reflog responded to that with Anthony, change Tagboard. Give me a topic for the next Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. So, Jason, not only are you out of a job, I'm out of a damn job too.
So this is the
topic. This is an
AI came up with
the topic. Who would make the ultimate all-time? Now, you know it's a robot because I would never word it like that. So, yeah, robot, get your swag up. But who would make the ultimate all-time Cleveland Cavaliers team? Which is how the job
here's the thing
began.
about this technology. With everything it writes, it gets better.
Yeah.
It gets smarter. And what it's done is, and here's the real problem with this technology, college students are now using this to write papers that have been submitted to Ivy League professors, and they've gotten A's.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's a legit issue.
Here's
I know. You know what? If you're a fan of, and no one here is because you're all too young, but the show Twilight Zone.
Oh, I remember that.
Do you remember the episode where we're all replaced by robots?
No, I don't think I saw that one.
It was a great one. It was everybody's going to be replaced by robots, and ultimately it's the end of society. It's the end of mankind. But I've read extensively about this technology because it's so terrifying to me.
Yeah.
And there's nothing good about it. I don't see anything good about it. And there are multiple companies. This GPS or whatever
GPT,
they're just the first to get there.
They're the first to get there.
There's hundreds more in the pipeline.
We will talk the rest about the bots in overtime after Anthony's take because he may have got this take from a chat GPT bot, which you'll learn about. But we have all-time teams, and Jason needs to do something, and Earl got to do something at the end of the show.
No. Just skip that.
Well, I want to know where we went wrong.
No, I was just talking about this.
We'll get to it, Jason. We'll do it for the end. But
Okay.
G, let's start with your ultimate Cavs team. This is your starting team. G came up with a
starting 5. And
G did a secondary 5 too for this.
Okay.
He did 3 teams.
You asked me to do 2.
I know. I asked everyone for 2. G did extra credit for 1. So G, this is your first team of your all-time starting 5. You can take it full, Mike.
I mean, this is sponsored by Isaac Asimov. This is my this is my theory of robotics and the laws of robotics right here. This is my death squad. We got Kyrie Irving at point guard, Donovan Mitchell at the 2, LeBron at the 3, but he's really playing the point guard. See how we got shooters around him right there?
You got 3 handlers there.
3 handlers right there. ISO gods out there. And then we got Kevin Love to space the floor at 4, and we got Tristan Thompson who's switching every pick and roll. Get some of that. That's the ultimate death lineup on 2K. You're not losing. It is what it is.
You should ask AI what its ultimate Cleveland lineup would be.
And G, we're going to take your second team because G gave us a first and second team for his 2K
now,
lineup.
Now, can there be carryover? So you could take like one guy out? Oh, no, these are all new guys.
No, he did both the questions I asked you guys. Then he gave us a second team for one of the questions.
Oh, I got it.
He went
all
too
different
deep.
guys.
Yeah,
Yes.
he did too deep.
I love that Ron Harper's on your
Because where I need to go is you got to show depth out here, and I needed to get Anthony's graphics together. We're going to see how he was going to go with Darius Garland. We got him at the point. Mark Price at the 2. We need that floor spacing. Listen, Ron Harper, the Swiss Army knife, the young Ron Harper.
Wow, he was a baller.
And Austin Carr going to get a shot from anywhere. And we got Larry Nance as our rim protector, switching on everything. That's the second team death lineup for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I got every single era in there. I got some of the 70s. I got the 80s.
You do. You got it all
90s.
covered.
I got it all covered.
What's your third
Bang!
team look like? You want to show us third
Yeah,
team?
we'll
You
go
made the
G's
graphic. Let's see
third
it.
team. It's 111, Mike. This is his all-time lineup.
This is my all-time lineup.
Oh, this is your number one?
This is my lineup.
Oh, I thought the first one you showed was your number
No,
one.
this is my tradition now.
Oh, I see what you're
Yeah,
doing.
now-
So
now-
you're blending here. You're blending.
There's blending. There's Z. I got the 7-footer. I got Big Brad. I think, he goes my power forward. And then, obviously, you got Donovan and LeBron and Kyrie still. So you still get the bigs. This is my 80s lineup. If I want to go against the Knicks, some of the big teams of the 80s,
Sure.
that's my all-time lineup by position, no small ball stuff.
All right, Jay, you want to go?
Jason, let's take it.
All right, so we're doing all-time, not title?
Well,
Let's
this your
do title
title.
team first.
Oh, well, title team first. This is pretty easy. I picked the guys that won the title. This took me 3 seconds.
Yeah, what?
Like,
Jay did too, for the record.
I mean, why wouldn't I?
just picked the same squad.
well, I mean, like,
was like, oh,
the
there's
question was pick a
Tristan.
team to win a championship. I'm like, well, how about the team that won a
That's
championship?
what. Listen, that's
in a
exactly
Game
my
7
logic.
game?
When I saw it, I'm like,
I said,
that's easy. I told Anthony right after I got the text.
Kevin.
So Jason texted me that yesterday. Goes, "Has anyone picked this yet?" And I was like, "No, that's genius. No one's gonna pick this." And then I texted Jay, and Jay's like,
What?
"Exactly the same this morning."
Yeah, I mean, I somehow that got lost in my text yesterday. I had
All
a crazy
good.
day yesterday. So when I did see it this morning, you reminded me, hey, get this into Anthony. I'm like, give me the 2016 starting lineup. Like, why would I change it?
Why mess with it?
Right. I know you could throw Mitchell in there and make them better, but like to me, it's how the puzzle fits together. They
exactly
played
right.
well together. They won a title
And they
together.
beat a team that was 73-9.
All-time great team.
Yeah,
So,
give me that team.
Yeah.
You got to win a title, give me that team.
And then here's Jason's.
Did you pick a second
secondary
one?
Team. This is all time.
This is my all-time team. I struggled with this one a little bit. Mark Price and Kyrie. I went back and forth. Ultimately, I went with Mark Price because he just played in the wrong era. Like, if he played in today,
Oh,
it would
God.
be unbelievable how many points that man can
And
score.
most people don't understand that.
Oh, yeah. He averaged like 3.5 threes a game, and now they make 3.5 threes a game now. Z and Doherty was really tight for me, too. I'm partial to Z because I have a relationship with him, and I think he's terrific. Doherty didn't get as many blocks because he played alongside Nance. He was such a willing and able passer for a big man. You'd be amazed at how high he ranks on the all-time assist list. AC, I couldn't put Donovan on there. He hasn't been here long enough. So that's why I left Donovan off and went with AC. Tip of the hat to history.
And by the way, if you're saying, wait, where's Shaq? The question was posed, don't go with a player who
Right.
is
Just
all-time
for the
great,
Cavs'
like
career.
Dwayne
Right.
Wade. We're not going to put Dwayne Wade
I,
on there.
I thought about putting Sean Kemp on there.
I did too. He was better than you
Kemp could have
remember.
qualified.
Yes.
Shaq and D. Wade, no.
I thought hard. I said, man, that year I had to go back to 98.
Yeah,
and look.
no, he did have
Sean
some
Kemp,
moments here.
Larry Nance, and Kevin Love are the
Yeah.
three best power forwards.
This was the easiest exercise that I've done in
Yeah,
the
so
history
this
of the show.
was your 2016 lineup. Anthony
Yeah.
made the graphics, so we're gonna show it because these
Yep.
graphics took a while. Shout out to Anthony for kicking butt on these. And then Jay, your other one.
Yeah, so my other one, I
113.
thought this was pretty easy for me. I just went with the second best team in the best non-LeBron team in Cavaliers history was that 88-89 team. They lost to the Bulls in 5 on the famous shot, Jordan over Elo in Game 5. They lost like 101-100 on the buzzer beater. But this team, to me, it's such a shame that we couldn't have seen what they could have done moving forward. It really was the last year Brad Daugherty was Brad Daugherty. Brad started getting hurt after that. But I wanted to look, because we had the conversation yesterday about how guys today take so many games off. And I'm like, I want to go back, because that was 30 years ago. Not quite, no, it was 20.
No, it's 30.
That was 30 years ago.
35.
33 years ago.
Yeah.
So I said, I want to see, like, how did they do it? So Mark Price started 75 games. He was hurt. A lot of the games that he missed, I don't know that he was ever just take a seat. He was hurt 7 games. Ron Harper, all 82.
I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
Who is 35?
Mike Sanders.
Mike Sanders.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something about Mike. I love
Hold
Mike
up,
Sanders.
for the record, I just gave Anthony credit, and on this show we give credit where credit's due. That's not a picture of Mike Sanders, is it, Anthony?
No,
Might be.
It looked like a picture of like Bull Bull.
wait,
Hold on.
I thought it was Mike Sanders.
it is Mike Sanders.
According to Anthony, that's a picture of Phil Hubbard.
Oh, you know what? Maybe
it
it is
is.
Phil Hubbard.
Yeah.
Pull
How
it
the hell
back,
did you put
113.
Phil Hubbard? Why did you give me Phil Hubbard?
Anthony, why'd you give him Phil Hubbard?
Shout out
Did
to
I want to make sure I gave you all the names. I gave you the names.
Shout out to Phil Hubbard. He's from my city.
Sanders played like the first 5 minutes, and they brought Hot Rod in.
Don't
Listen, by the end of the year, Hot Rod was well.
Hot Rod was a bench player. Pretty
He
much
was
his
until
entire
very
time here.
late that year. They started mixing him in. I think when I don't know exactly when. It was probably late February or March. He got a couple starts, but then in the playoffs they just started realizing the rotation was better with Hot Rod starting.
Yeah.
So they had Ron Harper played all 82 games. Ron Harper was a beast.
Yep.
Sanders played all 82, or in this case, Phil
Phil
Hubbard.
Hubbard, yeah.
Larry Nance played 73 games, and I went and looked, and there were 2 stretches that he was hurt. So again, I don't know that he ever had times where he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to take the night off, Skip."
Yeah.
Brad Daugherty played 78 games. It was the last time he, played close to a full season. Craig Elo gets honorable mention off that team, and Hot Rod Williams. I thought Hot Rod Williams was just tremendous late in the year, and particularly in the playoffs. But that team, that was a 57-win team. They finished second in the conference. I believe they finished second in the conference that year. But they had 57 wins. That team just had the misfortune of being around in the Jordan era.
Yep.
You know how many, this is why I always pivot back and forth between, when you ask who's better, LeBron or Jordan. One thing that's so impressive about Jordan is you look at the amount of teams they had, and the teams that, if you go back to that era, the Atlanta Hawks had Doc Rivers and they had Dominique Wilkins.
Right.
And they were nowhere near. Philadelphia 76ers had Dawkins, they had Moses Malone, they had guys like Charles Barkley. They never won. And even as you continue to go on, you look at teams like the Knicks who say they had their best years in the East. You look at guys like the Utah Jazz who went and played them twice, and the Blazers, and so all these
Great players that didn't get rings in that era because of Michael.
It's crazy. It just baffles me. And a lot of them, and then Larry Bird. After a while, Larry Bird never was over the hill anymore. They started beating the Pistons, and when they start beating the Pistons, that meant everybody. When you watch that the Dream Team, Michael, they say, who's taking the last shot? You say, man, y'all already know who's taking the last shot. That was a dumb question. At that point in time,
You know why it was a dumb question? Because they were never going to be in a situation where they were going to need to take a last shot.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
They roughhoused. They won by 50 points just about every game.
And it was kind of, and I will say this, it was kind of like before it was, don't get it twisted, Magic and Bird were still good athletes, but it kind of like you saw the morph of the athlete. Like Jordan was the first dude doing plyometrics or something. Like where did
Nobody was doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Dr. J did, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, Jordan took it to a whole new level.
Just the same way LeBron looked like the first dude that was like lifting weights. Like, so everybody, I ain't gonna lift no weights.
Yeah,
so
that's
don't
a
mess my
tight
shot
end now,
up.
playing like Michael Jordan.
Yeah. And now he's still bully. To this day, I still watch him and I still don't get it. He's gonna break the record. I thought we were just talking about this like a couple days ago. He's gonna break the record in a few days or something.
Yeah, he's like within a week or so.
He's 177 points away.
Yeah.
He is playing either tonight or tomorrow at MSG. He did not play against Brooklyn last night.
Which was odd.
Tonight. He's playing tonight.
He's playing tonight. It was back to back. So.
And how much is he
Which
averaging?
brings us real quick. He's 177 away. Back to back brings us right to the point. Jason and I were going back, and one of the coolest parts of this job is now I get to text really smart people with takes, and they tell me if I'm smart or not. We get to discuss
Now
it.
just do it. Just text AI.
Well, now I could do that, but me and Jason got into a little conversation yesterday about the load management rest, what the NBA wants to do to kind of fix this issue. And Jason, if you want to enlighten us on some of your
Yeah,
thoughts. 'cause
is
I
that
thought
when
had
you
some
were
really good
screaming
takes
at us
on it.
yesterday?
Yeah, well, no, I
How
was
do you
screaming
fix
about
it?
the 49ers. You guys are nuts, but we don't have time to get into that.
Damn.
Jason agrees with me for the record.
You
Thank
guys are
On
insane.
what? I don't even know what we're talking about.
They didn't have the right four-string quarterback. It's I don't want to get into. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
waste
That
any
was,
time.
I thought that was a silly argument anyhow.
So in terms of like how you fix this thing, I think you guys were really close yesterday in what you were talking about. To me, you have to eliminate back-to-backs. That's going to remove the crutch because all these coaches.
Then you got to cut 82. You
Well,
can't have 82.
no. So I'm going to condense this down. Steve Kerr sat everyone here at Golden State. They were on a back-to-back. They lost at Boston the night before. LeBron sat last night as a back-to-back. They're playing tonight. The Clippers were on a back-to-back and playing 3 games in 4 nights. So that's the excuse that coaches go to. It's a back-to-back. We have to rest our guys. They have more data now. These guys wear these body sensors, and they tell them when they're running in the red, when they're at risk for injury.
Right.
So that's when they sit guys down. Because Mike said, could you take a week off before you start the playoffs? And now everyone's nice and rested. That doesn't solve it because you're worried about January when they're running in the red and their bodies are weak. Like teams have done all of these sleep studies now. Now they stay in cities an extra night rather than fly that night after the games. They stay there now and they fly the next morning, trying to give guys more rest. And so it's become this
Really,
big thing.
the Warriors didn't do that.
It depends on the schedule. Sometimes they stay over, sometimes they don't. I don't know what goes into the reasoning, but I know NBA teams are staying
They're
over
starting to do that more.
in cities after games now than they ever did before. So to me, you have to eliminate back-to-backs. That you're never going to get them to play all 82. You're never going to. You could cut the schedule to 72. They're still going to sit guys. But if you eliminate the back-to-backs, that takes out a lot of the reasoning.
What I'm saying is that mathematically possible?
Judge,
Well,
extend
so
the
now,
season.
so here's the flip side.
Because
to
now
it.
you got 164 days
So
to play
now
the
you're
regular season.
Well, now you're extending the season, but also I don't think you need 2.5 months to play the postseason. Like
I
the
don't
NBA
either.
postseason goes on forever. So here's what this has been kind of kicked around. Something I was also thinking about. Give the team at least maybe in the finals you can go 2-2, 1-1-1 for the finals. All the other rounds
2-3-2.
No, 2-2-3.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And give the team home court advantage. Give them 5 home games.
Yeah.
And now you got something to play for. Now you're incentivizing teams to get one of those top 4
but you're
seeds.
almost never going to have upsets.
But
in that
why don't they just move back to 5 games? Why do you need the one
you
versus
could do that too.
1
I
versus
mean,
8 to be 7 games?
The first round
Yeah.
used to be 5. You can make. My point is, there's a lot of fat to trim in the postseason, or you could cut that way
the
back.
postseason almost loses my attention.
It's 2.5 months.
It's just too long.
In the early rounds, you have 2-3 days between games. It's insane. So there's a lot of fat you could trim. You could narrow that down, extend the regular season, condense the postseason a little bit. I think that there's room, but ultimately you have to get to eliminating the back-to-backs. I think is the crux
Let me
of
ask
this,
this,
and they've
because
tried that in the past.
Somebody brought this up. They saw our discussion yesterday, and they said, well, I've got an idea, and I had never heard this before. Why don't we go to a 16 play? Forget the nonsense. When has a 7 or an 8 ever won it?
Never.
Thank you.
Never going to.
Then why are we playing them?
Money.
You
More
want to
playoff games.
But now we make it more interesting, and you do it like baseball does it. Give the 1 and 2s buys. 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5. You're immediately into the conference semifinals. You condense the playoffs by a month, maybe more.
Yeah.
And now you can take in the regular season instead of having 82 games in 135 days or 140 days, whatever it comes out to. Now you can do that. You can assure that you never. I don't think you should have a back-to-back. I don't think that should. That's just insane.
Yeah.
It's just craziness. So a 7 isn't going to win. An 8 isn't going to win. Let's stop the madness.
But they're going to generate TV dollars in extra playoff series, and I don't think they're ever going to go away from that. The other thing I was wondering,
it's just greed.
and I just was spitballing this last night. I don't know the logistics of the scheduling, but in the East you play teams 4 times, twice at home, twice on the road.
Yeah.
So when Boston comes here, play them on Monday and Wednesday. Now you're done with Boston.
Well, that's smart. You'd cut down on the travel,
You cut down on the
And
travel.
like baseball does.
You can't do it on the West necessarily, but in the West, a lot of times all those are clumped together anyway. It's a West Coast trip.
I like that.
West teams come east.
Cosign.
So Toronto comes here. You play them Tuesday and Thursday. You're done with Toronto. You go to Toronto. You play them on a Sunday and a Tuesday.
the way,
now you're done with
It's
Toronto.
like baseball.
gives coaches a better opportunity to get prepared for playoff series when you're going to play the same team 7 times in 13 days.
I like that.
I like that
and
a
it
lot.
really condenses down on the travel.
I also, I do think to get rid of the 7 and 8 seeds,
Yep.
give the 1 and 2s buys, gives them something to play for.
Yep.
The 3 plays the 6, the 4 plays the 5, and you're automatically to the conference semifinals. And these are the teams that have a chance to win it anyhow.
Ultimately, and I'll put a bow on it with this, it's not going to – teams are not incentivized right now to do – like, they don't care.
No.
Because they've just made – I think it was $25 billion or $250 billion, some insane number off the television contracts from ESPN and TNT. As long as that money's coming in, they don't care.
They don't care.
So,
Yep. And they don't care about the players' health either. They'll pretend they do, but they don't.
No, that's not it.
Earl is with us because today is January 31st, and we understand that's a pretty special day to you.